Hola, soy Berenice Hernán. Esto es Península 360. Hoy hablaremos con Nancy Radcliffe, quien es candidata para el Distrito número 1. Hello, Nancy. Thank you so much for being here. My first question is, why do you want to be on the City Council? ¿Por qué quieres ser concejal?
Thank you for the question. I have been a 19-year planning commissioner for the city. And actually before that, I was involved in other aspects and actually also on the Library Foundation and some other organizations within the city. So it's kind of the next step, and I want to stay involved with the city. We're going through a lot of growing pains, and it's important to help in that process.
Esta es la primera vez que vamos a tener una elección distrital. ¿Nos puedes decir cuál es la diferencia?
This being my first campaign, I don't have another one to compare it to, but I think the best thing that it does is it allows more variety because it lowers the amount of financial obligation that people have to put out or raise to run a campaign. So I think it makes it a little more attainable for everyone. Although once you're elected, we represent the city as a whole, not just our district. So it's kind of two-sided. Yeah, good and bad.
¿Cuáles crees que son los principales problemas que enfrenta la comunidad latina en tu distrito?
Housing is very important. Economics, I think it's one of our areas of population that has really been hit hard during this COVID-19, mostly because they're of where they work. You know, we depend on that population to, keep us going, really. They don't have the luxury of staying home, and I shouldn't say all of them, but some of them don't have the luxury of telecommuting. So that's economics, housing. Let's see. I think also education. It's the particular schools that the Latino community is going to are not as versed as some of the other ones. So I think that's really important. I work a lot with the Library Foundation and working with, outreach to that community for not only learning, but making them aware of different programs within the library that they can facilitate and use.
¿Cómo te le vas a acercar a la comunidad latina?
I am going door to door in my district, and so I am trying to reach out to absolutely everybody. I also am trying to do a lot of one-on-one discussions and learn about this particular district's issues. So I really like the one-on-one versus like a Zoom. It's harder to get one-on-one, but you lose a little something on the Zoom. I think you lose a little of the interpersonal reaction. So I am actually going door to door and trying to talk to everybody who will open the door for me.
¿Qué has hecho antes con la comunidad latina y otras comunidades de color?
So one of the fun things is I have been a Katrina with Casa Circulo for the last 5 years. So I think I've just had a great time doing that. Veronica has been absolutely delightful to work with. And so I've gotten to not only be in the Redwood City Day of the Dead, but also up in San Francisco. So that's been just such a treat, and I love it. I also am a mentor for a first generation college student, Latina college student. So this is a little one-on-one, her getting to know me getting to know her, and helping her with any issues she might have being a first generation. She's a freshman in college, so, and clearly the first one in her family. So that's been great. I love that. Also through the Library Foundation, helped do some Career Line College, which allows people, and it's been mostly people of color who've gone back and gotten their high school diploma. So this is not a GED, but their actual high school diploma. So that's a very heartwarming sphere. One of our graduates last time was a mother whose daughter was actually graduating from high school that same year. So was a mother-daughter year of graduation. And then another participant was a grandmother who had all her grandkids with her when she went through her graduation ceremony. So education is, I feel, a big equalizer. So I think it's really important to help people get the best education that they can.
¿Qué opinas de la justicia social en Redwood City?
I think we're not there yet. We have more work to do. I think we need to really do some listening to our different communities and hopefully get some truthful answers about how they feel and what they feel needs to be done. I know that sometimes people are reticent to say what they are thinking, but I think we need to make safe spaces, and we need to go out into the community and really listen to the issues that we have. It's clear that we're not there yet. As much as I would love it to be that way, we're not.
¿Cuáles son los obstáculos del compromiso social en Redwood City y cuáles son tus estrategias para afrontarlos?
There have been barriers. I think one of them is our council. Now that we have Zoom, I think our council meetings are much more accessible to everyone. Even though they were televised, there wasn't the interaction with the public. And actually, it's the same with the Planning Commission. Now you can call in, Zoom in, and I think it makes it easier for people to participate. One of the problems I feel that people have is you can't leave, the house due to like maybe children or other things, or so it makes it much more accessible for people. I also think council needs to get out in the community more, and it would be nice to do more sessions out in the different neighborhoods. For a while, Planning Commission was actually meeting in we haven't done this in a few years, but we're actually meeting in different neighborhoods. We've met out in the shores, we've met in, out in North Fair Oaks, we've met up in the Farm Hill area. So that makes it much easier. So maybe it all doesn't have to happen in City Hall. We can move around, especially with the technology that we've got.
¿Cómo harás para que las políticas en Redwood City sean más abiertas a la inclusión y la diversidad?
Oh gosh. I think probably listening sessions, but I also think when we have activities, when we will be able to once again have activities on the square, I think that brought a lot of awareness to the different cultural aspects that we have in the city. Day of the Dead I remember the very first one, it was in front of the library, and there were, maybe 50 people, and now you go to Courthouse Square and there's thousands, and, it's just a thrill. So I think we really need more cultural activities, and we have a lot of different cultures in Redwood City. So we need to bring those forward, like Day of the Dead has come forward. So,
de ser elegida, ¿qué harás para la comunidad latina en los próximos 4 años?
Here again, going out, speaking one-to-one. I'm fortunate that I have some relationships already in the community. Veronica Escamez from Circular Cultural. I know Candidata. We sat on Planning Commission together. Alicia Guerri is a very dear friend. In fact, we're COVID buddies. We were in kind of lockdown together. So I'm fortunate that I already have some relationships there, but I know I would need to build more. So going out and having, I think, one-to-one is the most important.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, and hope to see you soon.
No se vayan a perder la próxima entrevista con otro candidato para el Consejo de la Ciudad de Redwood City.